And the winner is Ademola Lookman.
All right, number one, numero uno in Africa as far as men's football is concerned, Ademola Lookman, Super Eagles forward and Atalanta forward as well. It was announced officially yesterday as the CAF Awards. You could see the young man there beaming with all smiles, and he's the Giancola designer of Agbada. And we have other categories. Nigerians won on the night as well in the team of the year, both in women and men categories. And of course, for the second year running, Chiamaka Nadoze is the safest hands in Africa as far as women football is concerned. And Nigeria Super Falcons as well. You know, they are the best in Africa again. You know, to shed more light, you can see, you know, the goalkeeper of the year. You know, you'll get to see other clips and, you know, images of what went down in Marrakesh, Morocco yesterday. We have Fisayo Dairo with us. He is the chief football writer for ACL Sport, and I'm sure he should be, he will be, he must be beaming with smiles this morning as a proud Nigerian. Fisayo, good morning. Good to have you. Can you hear me, Fisayo?
Okay, I can hear you, but quite faintly. I don't know if the audio can become more audible, please.
All right, we'll work more on that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, better now, yeah.
Okay, I said, possibly you didn't hear me. I said every Nigerian, including yourself now, Fisayo Dairo, must be beaming with smiles as a proud Nigerian this morning because of the fantastic night we had in Marrakesh, Morocco yesterday. Ademola Lookman is number one. Well deserved.
Absolutely. Of course, everyone is happy. You know, Nigerians, everything that pertains to us, we tend to. That's when we really tend to bring our country so high. You know, and having Ademola Lookman justifiably winning the African Player of the Year is something that's gladdens the heart of every Nigerian, and even most especially the football fans. And for me, the fact that the trophy, the golden trophy, remains in Nigeria after Nigeria won it last year, after a 23-year wait, you know, it's something remarkable because for Ademola Lookman, he has had a stellar year by all standards. For the he was never found wanting for the national team, for his club, everywhere. He has painted the world of football red or blue, as his club jerseys are, with goals and with tremendous performances. So definitely, like you posited, every Nigerian has a right to be very happy and filled with smiles this morning.
Yeah, I remember before we move ahead into other categories as well, we had a chat before that particular category yesterday, and I was like, are we home and dry? And you said, hopefully, but you know, it's a voting category. Things might not be maybe as assured as I think, you know, and I must tell you at that point, I was like, what is happening here? Why did you say that actually? Maybe you are not sure, but everybody thought this guy is clear. In fact, the Senegalese coach, the Senegalese, you know, Teranga Lions coach said he has Adinga as his player, but he thinks this is Ademola's here. But yesterday, you expressed some, you know, some reservation to say maybe we should wait. Why?
Yeah, you know, it's an award strictly based on voting, and you know, when it comes to voting, you may never predict what people will vote. And when I say voting, it's not a professional form of voting. When the African Player of the Year were being given out to players in the 90s and early 2000s, you can easily predict who will win it because technicians are voting. Maybe 30 people that they believe know the sport very well and will vote dispassionately. They were the ones that voted. But these days, It's country by country votes, captains and coaches of the national team, which means as everyone across Africa believe that even the same Emas Faye, the Ivorian coach, that spoke yesterday that he believes Ademola Lookman deserves it, I'm very sure he didn't vote for Lookman. He would have voted for Simon Adingra. You know, so that's the intrigues that comes with voting, especially, like I said, not professional voting. They are strictly partisan voting. Nobody can question you based on who you vote. You have to vote your compatriots first. I'm sure. So what brought a little bit of doubt for me yesterday afternoon was, you know, maybe I started listening to noise from the outside too much, that people are like, oh, Morocco, they might want to use Moroccan advantage, Osimhen beating in 2023. You know, we were having this conversation until around 30 minutes before the announcement was made. I was chatting with someone on X, and she asked me, because she's also a renowned football fan, she asked me, Bet, what did Hakimi win? It was at that point I said, oh, truly, is this your question that now erases any doubts in my mind? Definitely, Hakimi did not even win anything apart from maybe the French league, which doesn't count here. At the AFCON, they were eliminated in the quarterfinals. The qualifiers, yes, they did well, they qualified, but so definitely it was at that point I felt, oh, it was 100%. And again, I came back to my senses. Nigeria had hosted these awards a number of times, and our player did not win it. I remember 2013, for instance, when Mikel had a very good year. You know, he won the AFCON, he won the Europa League, he did well, and the award ceremony was held in Lagos. But guess what? Much to the chagrin of a lot of Nigerians, Yaya Toure was given the award. So never mind the little bit of skepticism that came up in my mind yesterday afternoon. Of course, everyone will agree, especially with Ademola Lookman already being named 14th on the Ballon d'Or ranking. No sensible, or let me say, no dispassionate African will have voted against him.
Okay, coming from your skepticism, like thinking about who was going to win, from the nominees, from your own point of view, or from you as a person, from the nominees, who did you think stood a chance with Ademola Lookman?
Well, maybe the Moroccan factor, I would have said Hakimi Achraf, because, you know, why Lookman was head and shoulders above all is that his performances were from January to December. You know, every time when we have these awards, there is always a break for the competitors. Okay, look at the Ballon d'Or, for instance, which Rodri won. Rodri had not done anything in football since June because he's been injured since. So 6 months of vacuum, but he won the award. Now, for Lookman, in January, February, he scored 3 goals at the Africa Cup of Nations with Nigeria. He went back to his club. He had 18 goals and assists in last season in the Serie A, and then capped it off by becoming the first man to score a hat-trick in the European club final as his club won the Europa League. That was in May, June. And then the new season started. Qualifying series for the Africa Cup of Nations, Lookman scored some crucial goals for Nigeria against Benin in Uyo, and of course against Libya. And then he continued it with his club as well, scoring goals in the Champions League, in the Serie A, and just last week, he still scored a fantastic goal against Real Madrid in the Champions League. So his performance was across the year. So another player that we could have said, okay, was close to him, had to be Sekou Hurasi, the Guinean. But again, Hurasi only started coming to the light after June. He was at Stuttgart last season. He scored a handful of goals, but I call them meaningless goals because the goals did not have any impact. But from July to December, he joined a bigger club, Borussia Dortmund. He was not scoring in the Champions League. People were seeing him. He was scoring in the Bundesliga. And more importantly also, he was scoring for the Cili National of Guinea as they qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations. So I think
All right. I think we're having. Okay. Can you hear me, Fisayo? All right. I think we are having some network issues from your end or something. But can you hear me? All right.
I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Okay. All right. Now, very well. Let's, because of the want of time, and let's look at other categories as well. CAF Player of the Year men, Ademola Lookman, fine, well deserved. CAF Player of the Year women, Barbara Banda. You know, many persons will have thought maybe Chiamaka could have had, a shot at that, at least from my own Nigerian point of view. Do you think that's well deserved as well? Banda, Orlando Pirates, and Zambia.
Well, yeah, it's deserved if you ask me, because Barbara Banda is a striker. So when a striker goes head to head with a goalkeeper, it's not always easy. And she has actually scored a lot of goals, both for the Shipolo Polo of Zambia and then for a club as well. But the only issue I have with that is that this is a player that CAF barred from participating at the Women's African Cup of Nations because of gender issues.
Yeah.
And now he or she has been awarded the best player on the continent. I have a problem with that.
All right.
I think, so the long and short, I have a problem with it because CAF has contradicted themselves. If this player, you think is not worthy of competing with women, then why give her or him or she the award belonging to women?
Interesting choice of adverbs, yeah. Now, CAF Goalkeeper of the Year, man, Rowan Williams. Many persons are even saying, our Unwa Bali possibly didn't make the final shortlist, maybe as the issues, personal issues, and all of that. But Rowan Williams, you think is well deserved?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about the Goalkeeper of the Year for both categories. Rowan Williams was the best goalkeeper at AFCON, has done well for the South African national team. Chiamaka Nnadozie is the best goalkeeper in Africa. That's why she's winning this back-to-back. So no questions about those awards.
Yeah. CAF Young Player of the Year, Lamine Camara, Senegal and Monaco. Good one?
Yeah, good one as well. I remember he did well at the African Under-20 Championships in 2023. And at the AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire, he scored a goal. I remember a goal he scored in the group stage. So it's good. And he plays in the French Ligue 1 with Monaco these days, scoring a few goals as well. So deserved.
CAF Coach of the Year, man, MSFI. That's, it's a good call as well.
Without question. Cote d'Ivoire were on the verge of elimination from the African Cup of Nations. They sacked their coach during the competition, and then they put in this guy that almost doesn't even have a certificate, and it set them to the triumph. And ever since, they didn't look back. The qualifying series for the World Cup, for the AFCON, they've been blazing teams apart and 100% deserved for a mass fire.
All right. Quickly, before my colleague comes in, CAF National Team of the Year, Cote d'Ivoire. 100 there.
Of course, it's an AFCON year, and they won the AFCON. Also, they qualified for the next AFCON. They are on top of their World Cup group. Definitely belongs to the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire.
CAF National Team of the Year, Women, Nigeria, Super Falcons.
Yeah, this is pretty much straightforward as well, because Nigeria went to the Olympics. It's not a year full of activities for women's football. But when you are able to go to the Olympics to represent Africa, you have an edge. And then they've also qualified for the next AFCON. They played a couple of high-profile games and held their own. So definitely Nigeria deserved. Yeah,
there are some categories that, not too popular. And I don't know, maybe this is the first time. You have CAF Referee of the Year, men, Mutaz Ibrahim, Libya. And I'm sure you know some of these umpires as well. CAF Referee of the Year, women, Bukra Kaboubi from Morocco. In fact, there was a Assistant Referee of the Year as well, Elvis Guy Nope Ngorge of Cameroon. CAF Assistant Referee of the Year, women, Diana Chikutesa from Zambia. And, all of these categories, were they before, or this is the first time they are recognizing them? These categories?
Yeah, there used to be Referee of the Year, but they're just introducing assistant referee of the year for the first time.
Yeah.
Like you could hear the recipients say that yesterday on the podium.
And
The guy, I think, from
how
East Africa.
important
Yeah.
is it for these umpires to be recognized? Because some will say it's not just about the players, but the umpires are being recognized on the biggest night as well. How important is that?
Yeah, it's all about motivation, really. You know, the work of the referee and the assistant referees are very difficult, you know. So when they get to know, I remember Papa Bakari Gassama from the Gambia won it a couple of years back to back, around 2017, 2018, you know. So when you know that if you give your best, and if you stave off inducement, which is very common in African football, that you can be recognized at such stage, I think it will motivate the arbiters, because whether we like it or not, the game depends. The games are in the hands of the referees.
Yes.
You can have a very good game as a coach, as a player, but if the referee has a bad game, it can spoil the whole thing. So I think that's just motivation. And I think I also like the idea.
Yeah, many Nigerians, both female and male categories, made you know, the both themes as well. But because of time, there is this CAF goal of the year, and we take this role on our. We use that, you know. We like our viewers to see that particular goal, CAF goal of the year. Is this the best that CAF, you know, has shortlisted and awarded as goal of the year? You know, just hold on. That's from Christo Mboli, Mabululu rather, from Angola, you know. And I think that happened at the AFCON. For people watching us, you have that particular goal. And I'm sure you have seen the goal. Fisayo, do you think really this is the best on the continent?
Well, you know, I wouldn't know the criteria for this selection, but, you know, there's a problem the African continent have, which is the problem of visibility, right? A lot of leagues spread across Africa. I can tell you there are better goals than that in Nigeria.
Yeah.
But do you have an HD video for it to display it to the world? Maybe not. So this affects the promotion of some of these very good goals or very good talents. So we just have to take what we have. This is a goal from the African Cup of Nations. I saw a lot of people criticize it, but you know, I don't also know the thought process behind the choice. But when you look at the shortlist, how many of the goals shortlisted were significantly better?
All right.
And you just leave it and let it slide.
Yeah, but a quick one. The team of the year for men, in fact, I've just spent some few seconds. Andre Onana, goalkeeper. Akraf Hakimi. How is this selected? Because I have an issue. The best hand on the continent is Rowan Williams. He didn't make the team of the year. Same as Chiamaka, the best hand, women category. She didn't make the team of the year. How do they do these things? Is it for consolation or something?
You know, what they call it is the CAF FIFA Pro 11. So what they mean is that it's the players that vote for these things. And, you know, from experience, the worst kind of voting are voting done by players.
Why?
That's the worst kind of voting. So, yeah, you know, like I said, maybe sometimes sentiments or what have you, because even if you say, okay, they're appealing to Onana being at the global stage and voted him as goalkeeper of the year, how could you have voted Dlamini, the South African goalkeeper, ahead of Chiamaka Nnadozie? It just shows to tell you that there are a lot of Southern Africans, I mean South Africa, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Angola, that voted. And maybe there are not a lot of West Africans that voted. And that's why they put Dlamini there. You know, look at the men's 11 as well. We are seeing a player like Kalidou Koulibaly in CAF 11 in 2024. He had the forgettable AFCON. He's been forgotten in Saudi Arabia. William Cruz Tekong, the best player at AFCON, wasn't even there.
Yeah.
You know, there are names like that. You know, but it's what it is. It's his players that voted. And
all right.
They are poor voters.
All right. Yeah, thank you very much. We should get, but if I may squeeze in this particular one, it's Nigeria are hoping, although we are in a very uncomfortable place, you know, as the World Cup in US and Canada is concerned. What kind of booster do you think this will do for the Super Eagles?
Well, more than being a boost, it also had pressure to their necks, you know. Look at the CAF 11. So Seamen, despite not winning the award this year, was still there along with Ademola Lookman. They won the awards back-to-back. And now when the World Cup qualifiers resume in March, they'll be under enormous pressure, even from their own people. You guys have never played at the World Cup. And if you don't qualify for 2026, by 2030, you will have passed your prime.
Right.
Will you ever play in the World Cup in your career? So it adds extra pressure. But it's not impossible. Nigeria have qualified in worse circumstances. But the 2 games in March will be much more defining than ever.
All right, ACL Chief Football Writer, Fisayo Dairo, thank you for joining us. Congratulations to us. You know, we like to tag along when something like this happens. At least this morning, we are not sulking as a people. We are celebrating. And I think that stands for something. You know, when something doesn't favor us, especially Nigerian fans, it's called Ojoro. But I think it's not Ojoro at this time around.
Yeah, no, Ojoro.
All right,
thank you for having me, Femi.
Do have a lovely day. And next time you are with the boys, send our regards to them and the girls as well.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. This is where we call it a day, actually. And, you know, we started on a very happy note. We are ending on a very happy note.
Yeah.
You know,
very necessary.
As they say on the street, not be every time they put Nigeria problem for your head. As they say, we should
I won't think Nigeria problem. Okay, yeah, we'll be going right now. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow again. Yeah. At the same time, 7. Thank you. I remain Uzoms Okechukwu.
All right, Uzoms Okechukwu is her name. Femi Ojo is my name. You know, big shout out to the production team that has made this a success this morning. And of course, we'll make a return. You can have a recap of this program on our YouTube channel at Western Spring TV. Western Spring TV. And also follow us on our various social media handles on Instagram, on Facebook, and on X at Western Spring Television. You know, enjoy the rest of your day and savor in this good news. Nigerians are the best. Keep safe. God bless Nigeria. Bye.